Greetings and salutations, this is Nick and Justin from Those Hairy Gamers.
Hi.
We're going to do another upgrade tech video for X-Wing today. Now before I start this video, I want to say the comment section on these has been fantastic. We've had lots of discussion about the cards we've been doing, but not a lot of people have been discussing actual upgrade cards. So, guys, homework for you. Go to your card binder right now, open it up, find something you don't understand and say, hey Nick, what does this do? And I'll make a video on it. We had a request from Victoria Tornqvist. I'm sorry, I'm very bad at pronouncing Scandinavian names. Thank you so much for your suggestion. You wanted to know, is it worth picking up the Gazanti carrier for Kallus? He seems like a fun crew option for basically all Imperial ships. There's very little reviews and strategy guides about him. Right, we're going to make one right now.
Okay.
This is a strategy guide on Agent Kallus. So basically, this is really good for you, Justin, because you're interested in flying Imperial, and this is a very Imperial crew.
I was going to ask, as a person that wants to become an Imperial pilot, is it worth picking up?
The Gazanti, if you want to fly lists with him, is my answer to that.
Okay.
I would say if you're not interested in flying Phantoms, he's not crucial. In fact, I'd say unless you have a Phantom, I wouldn't really worry at all. Basically, let's address the elephant in the room straight up. He is really good on one particular ship and hasn't found much use on other ships. It doesn't mean he will never find use on other ships, but there is a really good reason why he works so well on the TIE Phantom. There are two schools of thought you have to approach Kallus with, and the Phantom just answers those so perfectly. Before we dive into that, we're going to look at the card text. Agent Kallus, Imperial only costs 2 squad points. At the start of the first round, choose one enemy small or large ship. When attacking or defending against that ship, you may change one of your eyeball results to a hit or evade result. Basically, there are two important factors in this. One, lots of dice results to try and maximize the amount of focus results you get. And two, trying to make sure you encounter this one ship over and over again.
The way I'm looking at it right now, you want to have something with either just pure high attack or a mix of good attack or good agility.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. In fact, I'd go as far as to say is Agent Kallus is a nice soft buff to both. The problem is I don't think he's really that worth it when you only get to capitalize on one of those things. If you have really good attack and no agility, I don't think he's getting really good value. I've seen list examples of him flying on the Decimator. I think he's a pretty bad crew for the Decimator simply because you're getting no defensive bonus. The great thing about Decimator is you have a 360 shot, so you can always shoot the same target over and over again pretty easily. But overall, I'd say this is not a strong card on a Decimator. I feel like there are better options like Vader or Kylo or Palpatine, all that kind of cool stuff. I've also seen examples of people flying him on the Upsilon class shuttle. I think this is a much better option. You have one more red dice and one more green dice than a Decimator. And it has the full grid of maneuvers, which I'll show up on the screen here. So you can headhunt things theoretically. I mean, it's still a shuttle. It's still going to have a hard time once your opponent gets behind you, but you're going to have an advantage against one ship, even on defense. If you're converting your one focus result for free, that means your green dice goes from a 3 in 5 chance from evading to a 5 in 8 chance to evading. So probably not going to evade to probably going to evade, but not a significant swing in terms of odds. So he's an okay option in terms of what you can use on the Upsilon class shuttle. I think there are better options for the Upsilon class shuttle, but for 2 points, you're getting something that's relatively interesting. The systems officer, for example, is fantastic on the Upsilon class shuttle, but there's still one more crew slot after that. And just taking a look at the options you can put on, Kallus at the 2-point cost represents something really powerful. Sure, you can take Kylo or Vader or Hux, but those guys all cost more. So if you need the point bid or if you just can't physically fit those guys in your list, it's not a terrible option. Indeed, if you're flying an Upsilon class shuttle on a Imperial Ace list as a support vehicle, as an aggressive support vehicle, Agent Kallus for 2 points gives you a bit of an aggressive boost. So that's pretty cool. I can understand why people would do that. There's one other list that I'd say is kind of okay with Kallus, but kind of not. I occasionally see people talking about using him with the Fire Spray, with Boba Fett on the Imperial faction. Now, to be honest, I think the Imperial Fire Sprays just aren't worth flying, in my opinion. You buy them so you can fly them on the Scum faction, if at all. If you fly them at all, basically.
Yep.
They're a bit overcosted for their frame, and But the Imperial pilot abilities just aren't that good. Boba Fett reads, when you reveal a bank maneuver, you may rotate your dial to the other bank maneuver of the same speed. Which is good. He's a quote-unquote bounty hunter. He's making sure he gets his shots every turn. That's the flavour of what Boba Fett's going for. In practice, I've found that this ability just does not trigger. Because if you fly well, you don't need to change it. Is a big ship with 2 arcs.
Like all of a sudden the logic just hits and you go, oh.
If you're a giant noob, it's all right. You may have accidentally stuffed up and flown in exactly the wrong direction, but you shouldn't be flying in the exact wrong direction. I mean, it's just, I can't think of too many situations where you bank in one direction and go, well, nothing's over there.
Yeah.
Like, why did you fly there in the first place? Unless you really called your opponent's maneuvers badly. But if you're flying with any level of expertise, you shouldn't be doing that. You should be good enough to go, okay, I think you're going to do this. And Boba Fett's ability just doesn't have much value in that situation.
Yeah.
It does, however, combo kind of with Agent Kallus because it's all about making sure you get your shots every turn. So I can kind of see what's going on there. In terms of what else I'd fly Boba Fett with, I think he's valuable because he has access to the bomber generator just through Andrasta. And engine upgrades are good on a fire spray. I don't think this is a very competitive idea when it comes to Imperial lists, but it's fun. Yeah. It's a nice casual list that you might get some value out of.
Instead of using Boba Fett, could you use a different pilot? Or
I don't think so.
No?
The other options are Cass Scarlet. The Imperial Cass Scarlet's just useless in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's stress control, but extremely conditional stress control, which almost never happens.
Okay.
I don't like it. And Crassus Trellix. When attacking with a secondary weapon, you may re-roll 1 attack die. I think they realised after they made these Imperial Fire Spray pilots that your secondary weapons may not be the best thing for them. Yeah, you can put heavy laser cannon on them. That's okay. But I think their primary is just too good. And that's my whole thing. You may re-roll 1 attack die. Yeah, with Kallus, if you use a heavy laser cannon, you can re-roll the miss and Kallus up the focus.
Maybe.
It's not bad synergy. Yeah. It's not worth 36 points for the pilot, though.
Okay.
It's just not. There are so many better options for that sort of price buy-in. But the ship he works really well on, the Phantom. Indeed, one pilot more than anything else, Whisper. This build here, with veteran instincts, fire control system, Agent Kallus, and advanced cloaking device, is just nuts. When flown well, it's incredible. When flown badly, it can be a bit squishy, but ultimately Agent Kallus gives you a lot of value in this build.
Okay.
So, if you have a look at the raw stats, you have 4 red dice and 2 green dice. But when you cloak, you have 4 green dice. If you're flying this well, you should be rolling 4 dice on offense and defense. Indeed, and off both of those dice rolls, you're likely to get 1 focus result, which means Kallus is giving you his value pretty much consistently every time. Sure, it's not as good as just having a focus token and then getting all the focus results. I mean, off 4 dice, you could easily get 2 or 3, but it's good, consistent odds. It's playing the odds correctly. Also, the Phantom is really good at headhunting. You pick one of your enemy ships and you go at it. It's pretty much what it's all about, especially with Whisper. Pilot skill 9, you always use that decloak to make sure you get your shot. The Phantom is an example of a ship that benefits really good pilots. The decloak is easy to stuff up if you don't do it right, but if you do it right, you'll always get the perfect shot. It doesn't mind having to defend itself if you shoot back as well. So you focus on getting a great position to get your shot, and you just let all hell break loose, basically, with the Phantom. The centerpiece of this build isn't so much Kallus, it's more this advanced cloaking device, which is after you perform an attack, you may perform a free cloak action. So you use Veteran Instincts to boost Whisper up to Pilot Skill 9, make sure she shoots first, and gets the free cloak. So she's shooting with 4 red dice and defending with 4 green dice. If you take an evade token, you're also evading with an evade token and 4 green dice. If she hits, which she should hit with 4 red dice, she also gets a free focus token from her pilot ability. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on there. Basically, taking the evade token or the cloak action are usually much better options on Whisper. So you're not often going to just take a focus token, which is where Kallus comes in.
Okay.
Kallus gives you those free focus conversions, and he gives it to you at a good, solid rate. Yeah. Sure, taking focus actions would probably give you more results overall, but you don't want to because you want to take evade actions. It's also worth noting that he's also a popular option on Echo, the other TIE Phantom unique pilot. And basically, Echo has one less pilot skill, which is a bit shaky when it comes to advanced cloaking device. You want the highest pilot skill you can get so you can shoot first and trigger the free cloak and then not get hit.
That makes sense.
On Echo, though, I would argue that her pilot ability is a bit more relevant. You get to use the 2 bank left or right instead of a 2 straight template when decloaking. In fact, you must use the 2 bank. The positioning abilities with Echo is nuts. Not having the straight hurts a lot. Yeah. I've heard people complain about Echo saying she's too hard to fly. I just think she's different. She's not better or worse, she's just different. And when it comes to capitalising on Agent Kallus, I think she's actually a better option because you have more positioning options. And he wants you to hit that one ship over and over again. He's positioning reliant. And basically that's why we only see Kallus on the TIE Phantom, because he works so well with the unique pilots and he works so well with that build. So in terms of standard play, that's really what is happening with Kallus. He's only really good on the TIE Phantom. I personally don't see any value on him on other ships, and indeed, other ships just don't seem to see him at all, which makes perfect sense to me. You can take him on the epic ships. Being able to convert focus results on epic ships is very valuable because they don't take focus tokens. They need crew cards that allow them to convert things. Like there's the Wookiee Commandos on the Rebel, which lets them re-roll focus results. And on Imperial, we have Agent Kallus, which is good. It can only work against one target, and epic ships aren't really good at headhunting ships, but it's an okay boost. It definitely gets its 2 points worth of value if you put him on an epic ship. I completely call that.
So that was Agent Kallus.
Yeah. What do you think of Agent Kallus, Justin? Have I convinced you to buy a Gazanti cruiser?
As a person that wants to fly the Decimator, I always see lists also using the TIE Phantom.
Yes, and the reason for that is the points buy-in just works really well. Whisper sits around the 40-point build. There are other ships that do that as well, but Whisper is a particularly good one.
Yes, simply due to the fact that I want to run that, and I like the look of the TIE Phantom. It's a cool ship.
Yeah.
So, therefore, yes, I will be buying a Gazanti ship.
Okay, so that's pretty much the applications for Kallus on the Imperial faction. Maybe now that we have a new season of Rebels coming out, we'll get a Rebel version of Kallus. Maybe we'll get Sexy Kallus in a crew card. Would you like that, Justin? Would you like
Rebel Sexy Kallus?
Rebel Sexy Kallus. I mean, what impact on the game would it have if he literally had the same ability on Rebel?
Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting. Rebels have a lot more crew options than the Imperials, but they don't have as many good ace options. So that could be interesting. But we're not talking about Sexy Kallus. We're talking about Regimented Imperial Kallus.
Yes.
And he's a very good card, just very limited applications. That's my summary of how we use him. Anyway, guys, like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.
Bye.